Have you ever noticed that the loneliest moment of your life probably wasn't when you were actually alone? Maybe it was at a birthday party where everyone else seemed to be laughing and somehow you felt completely disconnected from it all. Maybe it was sitting in a classroom surrounded by 30 other people yet feeling like you could disappear and nobody would notice. Maybe it was at a dinner with your family, listening to conversation happen around you while you quietly drifted farther into your own thoughts. Or maybe it was late at night. Your room wasn't empty, your phone was in your hand, you had hundreds, maybe even thousands of people you could message. Social media made it look like everyone was only one tap away, yet you still felt alone. That's what makes loneliness so strange. Most people imagine loneliness as an empty room, a single chair, silence. Nobody calling, nobody texting, nobody there, but I don't think that's what loneliness really is. Because if loneliness was simply about being yourself, then every person who lives alone would be unhappy. Every hiker standing on top of a mountain by themselves would feel empty. Every person enjoying a quiet morning with a cup of coffee would secretly be miserable. But that's not what happens. Some people are perfectly comfortable being alone. In fact, they need it. They come back from it feeling calmer, happier, more like themselves. And then there are people who are almost never alone. They have classmates, co-workers, teammates, family, group chats, messages, conversations every single day, yet somehow when everything goes quiet, they still feel like something is missing. So maybe loneliness isn't measured by how many people are around you. Maybe it's measured by how understood you feel. Think about the conversation we have every day. Someone asks, "How are you?" And almost without thinking you answer, "I'm good." Not because it's always true, but because the real answer would take too long to explain. Maybe you are exhausted, maybe you are worried about something you haven't told anyone, maybe you have been pretending everything is okay for so long that saying anything different feels uncomfortable or weird. So instead, you smile, you nod, you change the subject, and everyone moves on. One conversation like that doesn't seem like a big deal, neither does the next one or the one after that, but over weeks, months, even years, those tiny moments start piling up. Not because people don't care, but because they never get the chance to know what's actually happening. Eventually, you become really good at looking okay. So good, in fact, that even the people closest to you believe it and don't notice anything different. And maybe that's one of the saddest parts about loneliness. It doesn't always come from having nobody around you. Sometimes it comes from feeling like nobody really knows you. Maybe because you're afraid they won't understand. Maybe because you're worried they'll think differently of you. Or maybe because somewhere along the way, pretending becomes easier than explaining. So you keep wearing the version of yourself that everyone expects. You laugh when everyone else laughs. You say you're fine because it's simpler. You convince yourself that tomorrow you'll open up, but tomorrow turns into next week, and next week turns into next month, and before you realize it, you have spent so much time being the version of yourself that other people are comfortable with, that you are not even sure anyone knows the real you anymore. Maybe not even yourself.